What is going on, guys? My name is Jeffrey. Welcome back to Aggressions and Taylor Swift accepts Woman of the Decade Award, Women in Music. So a lot of people wanted me to react to this speech. A lot of people have been asking for it. So finally doing it today. For the YouTube channel, definitely subscribe and click the like button. If you haven't already, definitely check out my Patreon. There's some Taylor Swift reactions on there that I can't post on YouTube, like the man reaction. So definitely go check out those videos if you haven't already. The Miss Americana movie should be on there very, very soon. So yeah, for the YouTube channel, definitely subscribe button, click the like button, and let's check this out.
Absolutely love this one, right? Woo. This is sort of a. It's not a short speech.
Apparently, it's 15 minutes long.
I don't want this to slip and break because it's very important to me. Thank you so much. She's so supportive. We all need someone like that. I'm Taylor. Good evening. I want to first thank Billboard from the bottom of my heart for this honor whoa, this is going great so far. Excellent. Okay. I want to say thank you so much to Billboard for giving me this honor, for naming me as their Woman of the Decade. So what does it mean to be the woman of this decade? Well, it means I've seen a lot. When this decade began, I was 20 years old, and I had put out my self-titled debut album when I was 16, and then the album that would become my breakthrough album, which was called Fearless. And I saw that there was a world of music and experience beyond country music that I was really curious about. I saw pop stations send my songs Love Story and You Belong With Me to #1 for the first time.
Those songs really did pop off.
And I saw that as a female in this industry, some people will always have slight reservations about you. Whether you deserve to be there, whether your male producer or co-writer is the reason for your success, or whether it was a savvy record label. It wasn't. I saw that people loved
Damn, she just went at she went at Big Machine right there, right? I think this was already after she had left Big Machine, right? I'm pretty sure.
Away a woman's success in the music industry. And I saw something in me change due to this realization. This was the decade when I became a mirror for my detractors. Whatever they decided I couldn't do is exactly what I did. Oh, I'll take it. Thanks. Whatever they criticized about me became material for musical satires or inspirational anthems. And the best lyrical examples I can think of are songs like Mean, Shake It Off, and Blank Space. Basically,
those are really good songs, by the way.
I usually said something back in my own way. And this reflex dictated more than just my lyrics. When Fearless did win Album of the Year at the Grammys, and I did become the youngest solo artist to ever win the award.
Is she still the youngest? I think there's someone that got the youngest solo. I think Billie Eilish has it now, right? I'm pretty sure. I think
With
so.
that win came criticism in backlash in 2010 that I'd never experienced before as a young new artist. All of a sudden, people had doubts about my singing voice. Was it strong enough? Was I a little bit pitchy? All of a sudden, they weren't sure if I was the one writing the songs because sometimes in the past I had co-writers in the room. At that time, I couldn't understand why this wave of harsh criticism had hit me so hard. I believe.
I think most music is literally written by multiple people in the room. Like, music is a collaborative thing. Like, there's just so many. You could do so much better with like multiple people on like one song. Like, just so collaborative. Like, a lot of people give like I'm gonna say I'm a big Drake fan. A lot of people say that he shouldn't, he didn't write a lot of his songs, or he got help on his songs, and that how in rap like it's kind of like it's mandatory that you write your own songs. But like, it's like no matter what, like for some reason, no matter what, if there's co-writer, people just jump on that for some weird reason. When every artist on the planet has co-writers or even steals songs, like it's annoying. It's annoying for that being like a fault, especially when she wrote so many songs herself. That's like it's like they pick out like that, like and they pick out that little thing, and then they try to discount you with it, discredit you with it.
Popular headline back then was a swift backlash, which is clever, you gotta give it to him. And now I realize that this is just what happens to a woman in music if she achieves success or power beyond people's comfort level. I now have come to expect that with good news comes some sort of pushback, but I didn't know that then. So then I decided that I would be the only songwriter on my third album, Speak Now, and that I would tour constantly, work on my vocals every day, and perfect my stamina in a live show. I decided I would be what they said I couldn't be. I didn't know then that soon enough people would decide on something else I wasn't quite doing right, and then the circle would keep going on and rolling along, and I would keep accommodating, overcorrecting in an effort to appease my critics. They're saying I'm dating too much in my 20s? Okay, I'll stop. I'll just be single for years. Now they're saying my album Red is filled with too many breakup songs? Okay, I'll make one about moving to New York and deciding that really my life is more fun with just my friends. Oh, they're saying my music is changing too much for me to stay in country music? All right. Okay, here's an entire genre shift and a pop album called 1989. Ah, you heard it? Sick. Now it's that I'm showing you too many pictures of me with my friends. Okay, I can stop doing that too. Now I'm actually a calculated manipulator rather than a smart businesswoman. Okay, I'll disappear from public view.
Bro, she's going off right now. I did not expect this. Reminds me of like Michael Jordan when like his Hall of Fame speech where he just like went off, dude. Like this is like when they hit that point and there's like they just destroy everyone, bro. This is crazy. I did not expect this.
Now I'm being cast as a villain to you. Okay, here's an album called Reputation, and there are lots of snakes everywhere.
Dude, she's going off.
In the last 10 years, I have watched as women in this industry are criticized and measured up to each other and picked at for their bodies, their romantic lives, their fashion. Or have you ever heard someone say about a male artist, I really like his songs, but I don't know what it is. There's just something about him I don't like. No, that criticism is reserved for us. But you know, I've learned that the difference between those who can continue to create in that climate usually comes down to this: who lets that scrutiny break them and who just keeps making art. I've watched as one of my favorite artists of this decade, Lana Del Rey, was ruthlessly criticized. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. We have similar tastes. I like it. She was ruthlessly criticized in her early career, and then slowly but surely she turned into.
I think some of the previous criticism on Lana Del Rey, I don't know about like her early career. I haven't followed her career. Just like the last like two things she's done has been a little problematic. Like the mask thing was like pretty fascinating to me. That was, and the other one she like went at like black artist for some reason. I forget, but yeah, two of the last things have been kind of like I've never even listened to Lana Del Rey, but yeah.
In my opinion, the most influential artist in pop. Her vocal stylings, her lyrics, her aesthetics, they've been echoed and repurposed in every corner of music. And this year, her incredible album is nominated for Album of the Year at the Grammys because she just kept making art. And that example should inspire all of us, that the only way forward is forward motion, that we shouldn't let obstacles like criticism slow down the creative forces that drive us. And I see that fire in the newer faces in our music industry whose work I absolutely love. I see it in Lizzo, Rosalia, Taylor Parks, Hayley Kiyoko, King Princess, Camila Cabello, Halsey, Megan Thee Stallion, Princess Nokia, Nina Nesbitt, Sigrid, Normani, Her, Maggie Rogers, Becky G, Dua Lipa, Ella Mai, Billie Eilish.
Ariana Grande.
And so many other amazing women who are making music right now. Female artists in music have dominated this decade in growth, streaming, record and ticket sales, and critical acclaim. So why are we doing so well? Because we have to grow fast. We have to work this hard. We have to prove that we deserve this, and we have to top our last achievements. Women in music, on stage or behind the scenes, are not allowed to coast. We are held at a higher, sometimes impossible feeling standard. And it seems that my fellow female artists have taken this challenge and they have accepted it. It seems like the pressure that could have crushed us made us into diamonds instead. And what didn't kill us actually did make us stronger. But we need to keep advocating for women in the recording studios, behind the mixing board, in A&R meetings, because rather than fighting to be taken seriously in their fields, these women are still struggling to even have a chance to be in the room.
She should start her own record label, because I don't know how many record labels are like owned and like ran by like women, because I think most record labels and most of the music industry is ran by men. I think like probably 95% of like the top like top businessmen in like music industries are probably, or record labels are probably men. I'd assume it's probably like 95, 90, like high percentage of men running the. So she should start her own like record. That would be dope if she started her own record. I feel like she could, right?
We now find ourselves fully immersed in a vast frontier that wasn't around last decade, and that is the streaming world. In music, we're always walking hand in hand with technology, and sometimes that is so awesome, like how now we're able to just drop a song that we made yesterday. I've spoken out in the past about the future of revenue flow for creators and the songwriters and producers who are being.
So she was the one that got when Apple Music when they first dropped Apple Music, they're gonna have 3 months for free, and she was like, no, like and they weren't gonna pay the artist for that 3 months, and she's like, no, we should still get paid, like, and she got everyone to be able to get paid. So that was really good.
Behind due to these rapid shifts and changes. I still don't think that record contracts or producers agreements have fully caught up. And I hope that in the next decade, we can keep searching for the right solution for producers, songwriters, and creators. Don't you? Lately, there's been a new shift that has affected me personally, and that I feel is a potentially harmful force in our industry. And as your resident loud person, I feel the need to bring it up. And that is the unregulated world of private equity coming in and buying up our music as if it is real estate, as if it's an app or a shoe line. This just happened to me without my approval, consultation, or consent.
It's crazy that like I'm pretty sure the Beatles, no, even the Beatles own their own masters at all. I think a lot of top artists don't even own their own masters, which is absolutely like insane to me. That like none of the people that made that art even like really, they make if they do make anything, it's like a very, very small percentage compared to the people that like own like the masters now. Like it's absolutely insane to me how people just like own masters and buy masters, and like none of the artists even like, and how like bad like all of these deals are. Like literally, it's so like it's pretty ridiculous how bad all these deals are, because like they get you in these deals when you're like 16, and they put this contract in front of you, and it's basically no business person would ever sign any of these contracts. No, like that's how bad these contracts are. But they know that they're signing someone that's young or that is poor, that's literally super poor, they're in poverty, and they're like, okay, either basically sign this contract or you're going to be in poverty and you're literally not going to grow at all because we have such a stronghold over the music industry, or just sign it and basically we have 95% of the contracts really good for us and a small percentage of contracts really good for you, and you'll get out of poverty, you'll make good money, and you'll be you'll be famous, so it's worth it. And all of these people that are young, that are her age, that don't know anything about how it works or anything, they basically have to like sign that contract, because it's either stay in poverty and not be able to rise, or be able to do what you like, but still just be in a terrible contract. So they literally just, they just put these people in a place where there's no. It happens to athletes also. It happens really in so many industries you don't even think about. Like it happens in it happens basically in so many industries and you don't even really think about it. And that's like the one fault of like, not to get too political, but that's like probably the one fault of capitalism is that they just there's a lot of stuff that's exploitative in that. So I think it's just making it more fair for the artist or whoever's working instead of like the person owning. Like there's a lot of athletes, like people say, when athletes protest, they're like, oh, you're rich, what do you have to be protesting about? Or how you. And a lot of athletes are like, no, you don't understand, we're not rich, the owner is the rich one. Like you have to understand these athletes, it seems like they're rich to the common person, which they are, but like they're also working for other people, and those people make literally, even more than them all combined. So it's like you have to think about, who these people are. Sorry. Okay.
After I was denied the chance to purchase my music outright, my entire catalog was sold to Scooter Braun's Ithaca Holdings in a deal that I'm told was funded by the Soros family, 23 Capital, and the Carlyle Group. Yet, to this day, none of these investors have ever bothered to contact me or my team directly to perform their due diligence on their investment in me, to ask how I might feel about the new owner of my art, the music I wrote, the videos I created, photos of me, my handwriting, my album designs. And of course, Scooter never contacted me or my team to discuss it prior to the sale, or even when it was announced. I'm fairly certain he knew exactly how I would feel about it, though. And let me just say that the definition of the toxic male privilege in our industry is people saying, but he's always been nice to me, when I'm raising valid concerns about artists and their rights to own their music. And of course he's nice to you. If you're in this room, you have something he needs. The fact is that private equity is what enabled this man to think, according to his own social media post, that he could buy me. But I'm obviously not going willingly.
See, it's hard because like technicality is like he's not doing anything wrong on the technicality. Like the morally, it probably is wrong because she clearly doesn't want it to just like have him buying it. She wanted to buy it. So it's like that's the fault with the system is that it's like technicality, like a technicality version of it is like he's not doing anything wrong. Like if you were him in that position that he's in, you'd probably buy it because like it's an investment, so you're like putting your money in investment, and it's probably smart. It's probably gonna make a lot of money off of that. But like in the technicality, he should never be able to be put in that position to even be able to make that investment. Like it should have been hers from the start.
The most amazing thing was to discover that it would be the women in our industry who would have my back and show me the most vocal support at one of the most difficult times. And I will never, ever forget it. Like, ever. But to conclude, I will say that in 10 years, I've seen forward steps in our industry, in our awareness, our inclusion, our ability to start calling out unfairness and misconduct. I've seen the advent of social media, the way it can boost the breakthrough of emerging artists, and I've seen fans become more engaged and supportive than ever before. I've leaned on that support, and it has kept me in a place where...
That's what I love about like the music industry too, is like these videos, a lot of times they get copyrighted or blocked or whatever, and like most of the time the artist doesn't even care and likes it actually, because like they really like these type of videos. But like since like the person executive that's already making 100 billion a year can't make he's not making the $10 off the video, so literally they copyright so that he can just keep. But like most of the artists, literally when they like copyright and they'll block these videos, the artist doesn't even see any of that the money. It's literally executives that are seeing that money that literally just own it. It's just and most artists support it so much, and it's just so annoying.
What I always wanted to keep making music for them. I was up on a stage in New York City in 2014, accepting Billboard Woman of the Year, and I was talking about the future of streaming, how we needed to make sure that the female artists, writers, and producers of the next generation were protected and compensated fairly. This was before my record deal with Universal last year that would contractually guarantee that the artists on their roster be paid upon any sale of their Spotify shares, unrecoupable. So thank you for that. This speech I'm referring to was on my 25th birthday, and I'm about to turn 30 tonight. Woo! But my exact quote during this speech was, I really just feel like we need to continue to try to offer something to a younger generation of musicians, because somewhere right now, your future Woman of the Year is probably sitting in a piano lesson or in a girls' choir, and today, right now, we need to take care of her. I've since learned that at that exact moment, an 11-year-old girl in California really was taking piano lessons and really was in a girls' choir. And this year, she has been named Woman of the Year at the age of 17. Her name is Billie.
I think she's the youngest to win in all the Grammys now. I think she won all 4, I think.
Think about every day as we do our jobs within this industry. The ones where people's dreams come true and they get to create music and play it for people. The ones where fans feel a connection to music that makes their day easier, makes their night more fun, makes their love feel more sacred, or their heartache feel less isolating. The ones where all of you in this room stand as an example for someone else in the next generation who loves the same thing that we love, music. And no matter what else enters the conversation, we will always bring it back to music. And as for me, lately I've been focusing less on doing what they say I can't do and more on doing whatever the hell I want. Thank you for a magnificent, happy, free, confused, sometimes lonely, but mostly golden decade. I'm honored to be here tonight. I feel very lucky to be with you. Thank you so much.
See, that was a really good speech because she went over like a lot of this, like the issues in the music industry. I think she basically touched on the music industry, but touched on like the industries just in general, about how just like so many people are taken advantage of, and you don't realize it because like everyone has like the argument that like, you know, the person deserves to make all that money, and the person, you know, working that's doing, you know, that's, you know, flipping the burgers don't deserve that money, which I think they deserve to be compensated more fairly, because the person in charge, they're making so much money, and you know, you might decide that like, you know, if you feel like they deserve that money or deserve that, it's whatever. But I think the person that, you know, is sitting there doing the work, you know, working at McDonald's or whatever, deserves to be able to live off of that, you know, working 40 hours a week. And I don't think you know, they literally, if you think about it, this person working at Walmart, sorry, I'm getting like political now, but she it's like the same industry. The music industry is very similar to other industries, and it's like, you know, you're thinking about like, you know, a person working at McDonald's, Walmart, they're working 40 hours a week, full-time and everything, and those people are still not even making enough to support their families, and those people are literally eligible to food stamps and all of the government help. So basically the taxpayer is supplementing and paying for these people to live, because the person working at Walmart or, you know, wherever, they don't want to make any less money when they're making, you know, already $200 million a year. They don't want to make, you know, 20 million less, so people don't have to, you know, they can kind of stumbled over myself right there, but you guys understand the gist. So yeah, everyone, enjoy the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. YouTube channel, definitely subscribe button, click the like button, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.